graders, we're going to talk about the very last section in Chapter 4, linear functions. And now we're going to see what happens when you change the slope and the y-intercept. How does that affect the graph of a linear function? And so remember, a family of functions, you're going to have, it's just a set of functions whose graphs have basic characteristics in common. I'll try and point that out to you. A parent function is the most basic function. You cannot get any more basic than that. And for linear functions, the parent function is y equals x, or f of x equals x. Okay? You cannot get any more basic than that. It goes through the origin. Most parent functions go through the origin. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and track three types of transformations. The first one we're going to tackle is the translation, and that's where we're sliding a line, because we're going to be tracking a line. We're going to track the line and see how it moves. So the line could start here and move up positionally. It'll be at the same angle, but it moves up, or it could move down, okay? Either direction. A rotation is where it's starting to turn. And so if you've got a line that's going out this way, a rotation would be maybe it's getting a little steeper. Okay, that would be a rotation where it's kind of turning either direction, clockwise or counterclockwise. And then a reflection is a total flip. So if you draw the line this way, then if you flipped it over, it would literally form an X. So it's really interesting. You know, we can actually see these things algebraically. All right, let's flip to the next page. We're going to talk about vertical translations. And the biggest thing I want you to circle is y-intercept. If the y-intercept, if the only thing in the equation that's changed is the y-intercept, that means it's going to translate vertically. It's going to move either up or down depending on the sign of the y-intercept. So let's take a look. If b is negative, then it's going to go down. Okay? So think a negative b. That means that particular graph will move down, and if b is positive, then the graph will move up. Okay, so there you go. That kind of sums it up. Now, for this section, I do want to go ahead and tell you, I am not going to have you graph it. I'm going to graph it for video purposes so you can see exactly what I'm talking about and have that visual connection. But in class, I don't want you to graph them. I want you to be able to look at the equations and tell what's going to happen to that second equation, okay? The first one I'm going to graph is f of x, and I'll go ahead and do that in red. And f of x is basically just y equals 1x plus 0. It's going to go through the origin, and we're just going to go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. And you see what's going on here, up 1, right 1, okay? Or down 1 left, down 1 left, down 1 left. And there's our line. That's y equals x, or f of x is equal to x. Let me change colors. Let's go to blue. And I'm now going to do the g of x, which is x minus 5. So what that is I still have the same slope, but instead of 0, the y-intercept has changed to negative 5. So let's see. We're going to go down here, mark negative 5. I'm going to go up 1 right, up 1 right, up 1 right, or down 1 left, down 1 left. Okay, I have enough points. I think you can see what's going on here. Now look at what happened to this line. This line is exactly the same angle as the red line. So they're technically parallel lines. And all that happened was this red line shifted down 5 units. That's what happened. Okay? So if you change a y-intercept, depending on the sign of the y-intercept, if it's positive, that means that it's going up. And if it's negative, it means it's going down. That's what's going to happen to it. It's going to vertically translate. So it's going to move up or down depending on the sign. Okay? Now we're asked to describe the transformation from the graph of f of x to the graph of g of x. Okay? And the way that you could describe it, you could say g of x slides down 5 units. So remember, a vertical translation slides, you can use the word slides, g of x slides down 5 units. And if you're not sure that it does, start here at 0, 0 at the origin, which is the y-intercept of your red line, and then count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It slid down 5 units, and you can do that with literally every point. You can see that it slid down. Every point on the red line slides down 5 units. Okay? So that's it for this example. Remember, we're not going to graph, but we are going to describe the transformation. So if it's a translation, remember, it moves vertically, either up or down. It slides up or down. All right? Thanks for listening.